Hi. Um, I think I'm going to start. It's 6:30, and this is workshop number one. And yeah, it's the first one in a series of 10, I'm thinking, and we're starting with complex texts. Before we jump into that, I wanted to quickly review a few things with you. By the way, this is live, which means I'm right now on Zoom. If any of you join me, I'm going to change my pace. I'm going to interact with the student who's in here, which may change the agenda a little bit. If there's no one coming in, I will keep up with this presentation so I can send this video to you tomorrow, since you are not here, at least so far. Where I wanted to start was the very first email you received from me. What I will do is share my screen with you. Let me see here. Oh, by the way, the aquarium behind me is the Monterey Bay Aquarium up north. When you're driving up north, it's off of PCH. Let's see, which one did I want to share with you? Okay. Interesting enough. This covering the whole thing. I don't see it. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me get back. It takes a minute to get things going. Okay, so this is the welcome email you received from me once you're started. And yeah, I started with what are your preferred names and pronouns. My name is BG. The course title says with Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly is overseas right now, and so we are literally squatting in her space until she gets back. And we may do so even after she does, meaning after she gets back, we'll still most likely be in her course. I have a feeling she may start new ones up, but yeah, so my name is BG once again, and my pronouns are they, them. And if you're ever interested in what this whole pronoun business is, scroll down, and on my signature, you will see, oh yeah, pronouns, what and why. Click on that. There's a whole website about that. But that also means, you know, my gender identification, even though I'm female presenting, I am not identifying as a female. I am non-binary, neither male nor female. Yeah, so those are my pronouns. It would be great to know yours. So when I refer to you, if I need to know if I should say she, he, or they. It's helpful to know that. Next thing is, do you go by your legal name or a different one? I have your names on my roster that come from registration and enrollment, which are formal. So you may or may not use them. Just let me know if you have a preferred name. I'd rather use that when I'm interacting with you than your official one on the roster. And then tell me your pronouns, like I said before. I teach English language arts. I have one course called Restorative Justice and another one is called American Short Stories. Some of you are in RJ, Restorative Justice, others are in American Short Stories. And let us see here. I am happy to have you here. You're choosing to be in a school. You're educating yourself. There's nothing better than that. Great choice. Keep doing it. Let me know if I can be of assistance at any moment. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, practical information, communication, and engagement. Attendance means being present in the academic milieu that we create. What does that mean? We'll get into depth in a little bit depth in a few minutes here. Give me 1 second. Let me check if there's anyone waiting to come into the session here. Okay, I don't have anyone. That's good. Communicate. What does that mean? I get out of my way. I text you, text me back. Just one letter is good. Are you okay? Are you able to access the platform? I haven't seen work from you in a little bit. Like, tell me what's going on with you. Why? Because we report absences. Given you need daily attendance and academic engagement, if you're not there, I need to know why you're not there, meaning you haven't completed work, you haven't accessed the platform. Platform is Canvas or Instructure. Also, academic activity can be you asking me a question via text. How would that go? Oh, BG, I recently read Bradbury's short story and I'm really confused about this one part. Or, hey, I read it and it's just like amazing. When was this published? I'm trying to figure it out, but I can't find it online. I'm just making that up. You probably can find the answer to that easily. Or if you're studying RJ, you can have this question: what is retributive justice? Is that the traditional justice we're talking about? You probably already have the answer to this. Yes, it is. But we do sometimes use words that are interchangeable and it can get confusing what we're referring to. So those are totally fine questions. And again, when you're texting me, even though I sometimes ask you personal questions, for you to get attendance and for that to count as you did academic activity on that day, it needs to be academic in nature. So have conversations with me via text that are academic. That will give you a check mark for that day, even if you can't do work on the platform, right? Again, we'd rather have you log in and complete work, read the work, discuss it on the discussion forums, than do that text thing. But again, there will be days when you won't be able to do that. We're all adults, we're working adults, right? So yes, please do that. Okay. So the next question is, yes, daily. What does that mean? Monday through Friday, doesn't matter what hour, the platform is open 24/7. You can also work on the weekends. That will just count toward your Monday and that's it. So we do prefer Monday through Friday. Doesn't matter if you complete work at 2 a.m. before 12, it would be on that day. After 12 midnight, it would count toward the next day, what have you. You know how this works. So let's see here. Yeah, my hope is that you enjoy all of this. You enjoy the course content, you enjoy the platform. My contact information in this email again. My phone number is also textable. You can text me at that number. A great majority of you have been texting back and forth. Isn't that wonderful? I wish I could text back and forth with my teacher instead of waiting till the next day to get answers. Well, we weren't able to do that. I just kind of really love that aspect of how accessible we are to one another in this day and age. Let's see. And then says, what's a good number to reach you? So if you change your number, please let me know. I'll do the same for you. Again, communication is golden. You have a family emergency. You're going to disappear for 10 days. Let me know, because there is a withdrawal, looming over our heads after 5 days. So make sure you're in communication if you think you're going to be gone for a little bit, so I can note that down. Okay, again, enjoy your learning process. Learning is a process. It's not about what you learn at the end of the day. It's about the process of learning. And I'll get to that in a little bit as well. Okay. Language and format expectation submission tips. This is an English course. What do? We need to revise our work before hitting submit. This is crucial. Why? When you don't do that, I end up saying the same things to you over and over and over again. Pay attention to periods, commas. Yes, it's my job to do that. Absolutely. But you know what? You have to be practicing this. So make a point Just before you hit that submit button, stop for a second and say, did I check everything? Did I dot my I's and cross my T's? And did I look over what the text looks like? Did I spell everything right? All of that good stuff. Good thing on Canvas Instructure, where the course is, it actually does warn you if you are misspelling something. Yeah. You're all aware of that. So pay attention. Yeah. And then also the idea is that you comprehend naturally and retain the content, as well as analyze, synthesize such information. What does that mean? Pull the information apart. Again, we'll talk more about this. Synthesize, bring it together. After you pull it apart, bring it together. Again, we're going to get into depth later. These are expected of you. Again, punctuation, upper, lowercase, these are the mechanics of the language, right? Drafting clear and fluid sentences and paragraphs. Why? Well, you're writing for a particular audience. You're not writing for yourself. I have a feeling none of you would write the essays if you weren't writing for an audience. So what you want to do is make it easy, accessible, and pleasurable for your reader. I know a great majority of you are great writers. And I also know what happens is once you start typing, you get anxious, just a notch, and you don't edit. So that's where we all get lost. You're not the only one. I do the same thing. I want to get done with something, so I rush through it. It happens. That's what we're programmed to do, unfortunately or fortunately. So you're responsible to slow that process down. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Yes, conventions of grammar and usage. When not sure, just Google it. I'm not saying everything on Google is correct, but that's a good start. Okay, and the discussion forums, make sure you use academic language. You all have been wonderful about this. You are using academic language. Make a point of using the new terminology you just learned. That's the whole idea, is that you learn a new word like retributive, like traditional, like certain words in your RJ content, as well as, you know, allusion in your American short stories. You're learning soliloquy. There's just a bunch of words that you're learning. So try your hand at using those words. Again, revise, keep in mind, these are public spaces. Yes, use the right imagery when you're putting up a profile picture. And then just be mindful, you're in public space on the discussion forums. And then your submissions, make sure you're responding to exactly what's asked of you. If you want to elaborate on that idea or what you just said, fantastic, do it. But make sure you're responding to what's asked of you. And I'll get back to that in a little bit. Okay, so specific vocabulary use, we talked about this. It is an academic setting, not a social media space. There's a difference. Good. Okay, you know all of this. So there are two forms. These are crucial. They're running after us, and we start running after you to get these forms from you. They're two different forms. Okay. So please complete both and get it to us. If you're having difficulty with that, let me know. And then we have tech people who can help you out. These are my hours. Again, you know, you've already been, I don't have that many new, I do actually, I do have new students, but we do have Zoom sessions that are different than the workshops on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and no Friday. Again, it's 4 days out of the week, Monday through Thursday. Okay. And then it's between 11 a.m. and 12 noon. Okay. What do I do in there is I go in there and then wait for you guys to show up in case you have questions, in case you have comments, in case you just need a quiet place to park yourself and work. You know, it's like study for some of us. I used to like those places. Anyhow, That's one thing I do. So if you need to have a one-on-one with me, you can call me anytime. Cold calls are fine. You can schedule a call if you want to make sure I'm available for you. You can do that. You can schedule a Zoom call where we can go over documents like this. Now I'm able to scroll and share this with you, right? Just like this. Okay. So, and again, we'll have 10 weeks of weekly workshops. Yeah, answer those questions, complete the 2 forms. You already got this, many of you saw this, so I'm going to the gist of the workshop Q&As, get icebreaker with you, find out about, you know, what you would like to be, like your nickname. One thing about you that may surprise others that you'd like to share. And the third thing, what is it that you would like to change about life? Okay, so why? Because it's fun. We want to get to know one another. You know, it just makes a difference. We are a learning community, and we do want to learn from one another, as well as get to know each other as the human beings that we are. So why not, right? Again, the 3 questions, if you can get to this and email them to me, I'd love that. Your nickname that you like, not the one that people tease you with, if there's one of those. One thing that would surprise us to find out about you. And the third one is, what is it that you would change about life in general if you had the power to do that, to do so? Mine is I would get rid of money, for example. Nickname. I do not have a nickname. I have a name. BG is what the name I go by, but I do not have a nickname. Something that would surprise all of you about me is probably the fact that I do want to go to school to become a clown. I want to learn clowning. And that's why I have that goofy photograph, in case you paid attention to my profile photograph. I can talk a lot about that, so I'll skip that. So, okay, the first thing is, why are we having this workshop? What will we learn? It is an orientation, okay? And there are a few websites that you go to. We're all working adults. We don't have time. I want shortcuts. I want you to get in there, do what you need to do, get out of there so you can go back to your families, you can eat your dinner, put your feet up and rest. It's tiring to do work all day and then go to school at night, which is what I do. That's how I know it. I'm in school. The great majority of your teachers, many of them are in school. It's addictive. It's a good addiction. Get into schools. We don't get out of these schools. Anyhow, that's how I know. Okay, so I will go to these websites pretty much right away. Bear with me while I go back and forth. You're familiar with the very first one where you spend a lot of time, which is let me actually open up Oasis. Right here. Okay, let's see. There it is. Okay. So this website is where you, okay, where you registered, right? I wanted you to have the visual basically. So this is the logo. This is where you have all these documents. The documents attached to that email are also on this website. So what I would like you to do is, if you are not doing this self-serve, if you've never logged into that self-serve website, let me know. I would like to get you on here. Why? All of your transcripts are here. Okay. These are just a teacher one, right? So this is very different than what you will end up seeing. But this is the website. It's called Oasis. Again, if you have never been here, it's a pity. You can pull your current transcripts And by the way, there is a lag time when we do transcripts. You don't necessarily see the credit you earned right away. So anyhow, that is Oasis. Once again, that is the logo. Let me know if you do not know. This is the tab. That's what it looks like. Okay, here is the tab. That is the symbol. Okay, let's go on to the other one. What do we have? Canvas is in structure. So that is this one here. So what I did here is just to show you, this is an access report. This is something that shows me, like, once when I text you and say, hey, you did an amazing job of logging on and doing work, because I'm able to access, you know, this shows you, like, this student. Actually, let's see. I wonder if there's someone trying to come in and can't. Oh, Tanel is here. Okay. Okay. So let me have Tanel come in. Hi, Tanel.
I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. So, Tanel, you're the first person that came in. What I will do is I will interrupt what I was doing, and then basically ask you if there's anything we should go over. Do you have anything in mind?
Let me see. Yeah, because I haven't really like written like an essay or any kind of writing in like a long time. So I
Okay,
was wondering, is my formats okay? Am I giving too much? Am I not putting enough? I
let's
guess one
take
of
a
my
look.
ideas is like if I'm veering off like to the left.
Right, I totally hear you. Let's take a look. Let me turn down my music. I was playing some nice music here.
Right? You were relaxing. There
It
you go.
is. I love Chopin. I love this stuff. It is very relaxing. I'm glad you feel the same way.
Yes.
So let's go in here. Let me see. Let me pull up your records. You are in my restorative justice course. Am I correct?
Yes, that
Okay.
is correct.
Okay, very good. So let me go to your records here. I'm going to pull it up, and then I will share the screen with you so we can
Okay.
go over together. Yeah.
Okay. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. So let me get in here. Okay. Let's see. Let me press the share button here. Share screen. Okay, fantastic. Okay.
Okay.
So this is your grades here. Okay, this is what it looks like on my end. Okay.
Okay.
Have you been in here? Are you familiar with this area?
I am.
Okay, good. So tell me a little bit, Tanel, how long have you been with us? From my, if I remember it right, you've taken some courses with us previously, right?
Yes, I did. Before you, I had just finished my geometry course. I finished that with a B. Yay.
Yay!
um, and then I did science before that, and I'm still steady with science. So when the school year started, yes.
Okay.
So I've been slowly drifting along.
That's great. Good
And I
for
think
you.
I'm finishing up now. So I'm hoping to finish before the summer.
Oh, good for you.
I'm hoping.
Well, we can take a look at that and see if it is a realistic goal that you have. I have a feeling it may just be that.
Yay.
So, is there a particular one you'd like us to take a look at?
Yes, the one I just did.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
It was the practice assignment, I think.
Yep, I got it right here.
Yes.
War on drugs and effective.
I just did it, and then I looked at the time. It was like, oh no, the Zoom.
Okay.
I spent all my time writing this. I didn't know. It was like I was so into it, I didn't even realize what time it was.
Oh yeah. No, that's a good thing. It's all good. Yeah, I was just recording this session so I could, distribute it later on. So, let's see here, is the war on drugs an effective way to combat the use of illicit drugs in America? So let me quickly go back and read the instructions. Yes, what
Yes.
I will do is I will minimize this. As much as we know of these, I can actually figure it out from the rubric. So are you
Yeah, I've
familiar
been
with-
looking down here too, trying to understand how the points are broken
Yeah,
down.
yeah, fantastic. That's the way to go. So for example, response is on top. Evidence that subject has been researched thoroughly with multiple sources represented. Yep. This one is content. So if you click on these, there's explanations, criterion long.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know that.
Are you on your gadget right now? Do you want to try this and see?
Yes.
Yeah, do it. And I need a minute to go back. And then I'll be right back. Go ahead and try to pull this up and see if you can click on that rubric to see what I was showing you.
Okay, how do I do that even though we're sharing a screen? Do I just leave it?
Well, you know what? You're not sharing your screen. I'm sharing my screen. So you should be able to
There we go, minimize it. And I did. I found it.
Oh,
Okay,
good. Yeah.
let me
Go
see.
ahead and take a look at it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So I'm back.
Okay, hold on, let me see. Okay, yeah, on mine, it doesn't let you do that clicking.
Okay, so when you look at your rubric, you don't
But it does say it. It's saying it. It says content depth, evidence that subject has been researched thoroughly with multiple sources represented. So it's there. Yes.
Okay. So next time, that way it will help you understand what it is that we're looking for. Yeah.
Yes.
Just keep that in mind. So this is kind of an interactive thing. And then when I'm grading you, I have these points. For example, I'm going to look for grammar and spelling, right?
Yes.
So exceptional, some minor errors, needs improvement, unacceptable. And then content, same way. So that's how we grade it. It's not out of the blue. I come and say, oh, this is an 18. And you know, like, isn't that great that I can't do that? Right?
Right. You make sense.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that. Oh, you know,
No.
it's fair when we do this, right? We look at it and we go, yeah, there's a little bit of this, but that this is really good, and you give a 5. So going back to your work quickly, I also want to see what your instructions for this were. Okay.
Okay.
So that's a huge thing because 1.4, right? That's where
Yes.
okay, 1.4. Let me go into the modules here. 1.4. Do now image analysis. Let's see.
I think it was the persuasive writing.
Yep, the assignment right here.
Yes.
Practice assignment. You got it. So yeah, it says identify topic, position, list many good reasons, organize key points, and with what you want, express your attitude, employ exact words.
Yep, and I wrote that down so I won't forget it.
You are amazing. Good for you. That's the way to go. Well done. Well done. So it says off the bat, write an argument to support your claim. So you have a claim. You either say the war on drugs was an effective way to combat the use of illicit drugs in America, or you're going to say it was not an effective way.
And that's what I said. I went towards it was not effective, and then I put in some percentages and just to kind of prove it.
Absolutely, that's the way to go about it. You got it. I mean, it's exactly that. What you want to make your position clear. Yes.
Okay.
You agree or you disagree. Once you have that very clear, you want to back it up with evidence from all the texts that you've been reading, right?
Yes.
So there's statistics around what happens when we take the drugs. It goes underground. They're more ODing because the drugs are not pure, what have you. I mean, you can come up with a lot more that we read about too. I'm just going to turn this down. I can barely hear my, oh my gosh. Chopin is going at it.
He's like, calm down, sir.
Exactly.
He's
Oh my
excited
God.
for writing.
I know. Wow. So Tanel, once you have that, you have your claim and you have your evidence. It's all about structuring this. The very last thing you do, and I'm giving this to you as like a quick thing. The very last thing you do is you tie everything together. You summarize your points. You use your strongest point to close down your writing. It's just like a politician does, right? They get up there and say, no, we're doing very good. We did this, we did that, we opened schools, we clean house, we took the bad guys out of space, we're doing amazing. Listen to this too. Here are the numbers. We did that way. Of course you're going to vote for us because we did that thing, you're pounding your point, your strong point on and saying it in different words. So we call this persuasive speech when politicians do it on a stage to get our votes, but it's the same thing as writing a persuasive essay. It's the same tool. So let's take a look at, that's why we all actually know about this stuff. We're not really taught like it is the same thing. Pay attention. If you're watching TV, you know how to write this stuff, you know? So this is good. You go in the year 82, former declared war on drugs. Now 40 years later, they have not only lost a war, but drugs today are killing people at an alarming rate. This is a very good opening.
Yay.
Yeah. So this is a very good opening. It's strong. And I'm going to tell you why I say good. Once you off the bat tell us they have not only lost the war, but drugs today are killing people. This is telling us exactly what your position is. You are saying, no, it was not an effective way. And this is a sophisticated way of saying it. And it also gives us how convinced you're telling us it's so bad that it's killing people. It's not only that lost, but it's also killing people at an alarming rate. That's a very strong position. That's very well done there.
Thank you.
Before former President Reagan stance on drug another former Nixon also stated he would declare, according to Reagan declared article discovered.
Because it said to give some history so that you can know where it started or how it started. So I was like, I thought that would be like the perfect place to put it before starting a new paragraph.
Absolutely. You started with the declaration. You gave us a little bit of background, a little bit of history. You can certainly do this over here, or you can use this as a separate
paragraph.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that would be, if I was to structure it, I would definitely say do it that way. Now, the official declaration was in 82, but there's a history to it. Because this is a persuasive essay, what you want to keep doing in your first paragraph is keep persuading us. But you can give the history again. Next paragraph would be a perfect place to say, hey, this is nothing new. You know, this has been going on for a century, you know?
Got it.
Yeah. So, so I would say add a few more sentences after alarming rate, okay? To strengthen your either position there or to come up with more argument. This is a very strong opening, so follow it with some stats. What are those rates?
Oh, I got the rates.
Yeah. So that would be a great place to use the alarming rate.
Oh my gosh, and that is so weird because I was thinking that. I was like, okay, I know I have the data. Do I try and squeeze it in, or is it just going to be too much?
Nope, there's never too much with data. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, you can drown, you know, you can drown a person with data, but when you want to create an effect on your reader, which is what you're doing here, do it. I mean, because it's going to really convince them. If you can say, you know, within particular communities, 1 out of many people are dying from overdoses, whatever. Like, if you can come up with things like that, it's very striking. You want to be striking in your first paragraph.
Okay.
That will pull
Okay.
your readers in.
Got it. Okay.
And then you can still be very striking, but this problem is not new. It's been going on for a century. Again, these are my words, you use your own words, yeah?
Got it.
But bring us to that point, like, yeah, we've been building up to this. We've been watching this happen for decades. This is nothing new. And, you know, then you can take it from there, give us this nice history you have here. So your third paragraph would begin with: the method being used to fight this war is incarceration. That is a fantastic opening.
Okay.
For this paragraph. State and local government spend. Okay, very good. You have a lot of numbers here. So I would ask the question, who are these local governments? What are you referring to? Look at the statistics where you got it from, and then see when you say local governments what you mean, because I'm even thinking like, is that city governments we're talking about?
Got it.
County, maybe it's the county jails, you know, like they're putting people in jail before the prison, so that's expenditure right there.
Got it. Okay.
And then on police, see, this one says it's on police, 5.8 billion. That's very good. Go back. And then, and what years? The stats are important. Like, what years are these statistics coming from? Because
okay,
that's another thing, right?
Yes.
And this is good. It is a lot of money. It really is. And then it's wasted money because it's not doing anything. Like
exactly. When you see so many people need so much help. It's
exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's true. Why do I say that? You asked. Over people were arrested for drug violations more than any other offense. Yeah, and an elder in my community once told me that prison system is set up to make money off us Black people and other minorities. That is unfortunately very true.
Very true.
Yeah, when you are convicted of a drug offense, violent or not, it goes on your record, hindering you from any type of life for yourself, individuals. I would use a comma here, just a quick tip.
I was looking at that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like
no, you're good. It's like yeah, we call these like fragmented sentences in an essay. You can use it when it's the right place. Now you're just kind of giving us an explanation.
Okay.
When you're really pulling your punches, like you're really making a point with something, I wouldn't mind it. It's a stylistic choice. Here you're giving us an explanation, so it's like I would use a comma there. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And that's why I was just looking like, I think I should, because I was like, it's too many. Okay, how I thought it was too many periods back to back. So I was like, maybe if I maybe if I threw in a comma, it won't seem like it's just like boom, stop. It'd be like something, then, you know, it'll flow.
Yeah, very good point. It's even visually very clear that, you know, they're too close to one another. Individuals with criminal records have hardships, including but not limited to renting an apartment, being accepted to colleges, and getting jobs. Absolutely. All of this for a crime that didn't fit this type of punishment, instead of getting them the help they needed. Fantastic. Drug treatment programs help a lot of people turn their lives around. Jail is not always the first option when it comes to drug users. Now, I would give some stats, if you can find some, about the difference between how many people change their lives around if they go through treatment as opposed to going through jail. It may be very striking right here. You do not have to. But if you want to really have an this is a great spot to put that stat in there.
Okay.
Yeah, compare and contrast, right?
So then would I break that into its own paragraph then? Otherwise, it's just going to be like...
No, I would put it right here.
Right there? Okay.
Yeah. So you're saying jails don't help, but the treatment programs do. So how do I know that? Give me the numbers. how can you back your claim up? Give me the
Got it.
numbers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love doing research.
Well, you've done very well with these numbers. These are huge numbers.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, they're big numbers. Let's see here. Jail is not always the first option when it comes to drug users. Incarceration is hurting rather than helping out any community. Once drug dealers are released, they go back to the corner, right? Yep.
They do.
Point. Good point. It's not helping anyone. So back to the original question is, that's good. You're bringing us back. Is the war on drugs an effective way to combat the use of illicit drugs in America? I think not. We need to pour more money into the mental health programs and substance abuse programs, as well as counseling for all those who are going through addiction or not.
I only put or not because, you know, mental health is for everyone. So
Absolutely.
I don't want no one to feel like they have to be on drugs just to get help, meaning everyone needs help.
I so agree with you. I'm a big, I'm a big advocate of that. I see the impact of what drugs are doing to my community, the opioid crises at its worst. It's hard to believe that your doctors are the ones introducing you. That's another great point. That's another great point. Doctors are the ones introducing you to this drug, then calling you an addict once you can't stop using them. Not everyone is a criminal. A lot of addicts just want another try to do things right before it's too late, not jail time. Very good points. So you've done very well. I mean, if you haven't written an essay for a long time, and this is, you know, what you came up with, this is very good.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, you got this. You know what you're doing. So just quick reminders. If you want to jot these down, it may come handy later.
I am. I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So you want an introductory paragraph that revolves around your position only, right? So your position is, the war on drugs is not an effective way to combat the use of illicit drugs in America, or you could say it's anywhere, really, not just in America, but, you know, it's not just an effective way to combat the use of illicit drugs, period. So emphasize that point and then come up with more reasons why you think that. So if one of your reasons is, if we took the same, which you already said over here, it's not a solution to the problem. What could we do if we took all that money that we use, all these numbers you're going to give us in a second, if we took all that money and poured it into services for people, maybe people will not start using drugs to start with. That's a very strong point.
Got it.
Put that in your introduction so we know what you're going to tell us about in terms of, like, I'm opposing the war on drugs because I have a better solution. Listen in.
Got it.
Let's put that money here, not into imprisonment and jail. So give us the lay of the land, the summary of your arguments in your first paragraph. So
it's like I'm taking technically what I put in the ending, kind of in the beginning.
You're not putting everything you're saying.
Not everything, just some parts.
Yeah, just one sentence. Say, we can take the money we're using in war on drugs and use it to take preventative measures, such as mental health, job placement.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So what this is a preview of all the points you will later on hit. So let's say if you have in the body of your essay, you have 5 paragraphs, just the body itself. It can be 3, minimum is 3, but let's assume you have 5. So there should be at least 5 arguments that back up your position in your introductory paragraph. Does that make sense?
Got it. It does make sense. And that's just for the introductory. Got it.
Yeah. So I have a preview. I know what Tanel will talk about when I come to paragraph 3. So you're introducing these ideas slowly to your readers, saying, hey, this is what I'm going to talk about. Okay.
Okay.
So once you say, here's what I'm going to talk about, then you get into the nitty-gritty and the details. This is great. You give us a history. You don't have to tell us you're going to give us a history. It doesn't matter. You give us a history. Now we know that this has been going on for a century. We've been spending monies like this you're going to talk about in the next paragraph for a whole century. Let's add all these numbers, and it's crazy. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's that I that's I don't even know if that's like real money.
Right?
You know, we don't see that. So
Right? Well, you can buy countries and islands with money
yeah.
like this. Turn it into heaven and put all these
Like, wouldn't
people in
nobody
there.
be homeless?
Exactly.
Everyone will have
Crazy.
somewhere to go. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
Crazy. So these are very beautiful what you've done with numbers, with the history. So the history is your paragraph 2. You go out, give us that nice quick history. And I would emphasize, like, this is over this many years, 100+ years. We've been doing this war. So, like, come on, it's stupid. Can you war a country for 100 years? You can't. Why are you warring a substance? Can you really pick up a war with a substance or many
No.
substances in a category for like, you know, it's a lie right there, right?
Exactly. Like it, yeah.
So like you're really emphasizing that without saying any of this, but
yes,
you may want to make that calculation. If the Harrison Narcotics Tax Act started in 1914, this is 100+ years. And I would definitely put that at the end of your, it's like a punch. Use it at the end of that second paragraph. This
got it.
calculated, it adds up to 100 and some years of warring substances. And that's a stunning sentence. You've already done all of this. I'm just giving you the wording, how you can tie it, right?
Yes.
Put a nice bow on everything. You intuitively did this. So that would be your second paragraph. Your third paragraph would be all these monies that are being used in the judicial system, correctional system, all of those places, right?
Yes.
And very good. And now you're talking about how it's hitting certain minorities and communities. So what I would definitely do with this, you can do a fourth paragraph out of who gets directly affected by the war on drugs. It's not the white man. It's not the white privilege that's like getting affected.
It's the poor.
Exactly. It's the poor people. It's the people of color. It's me. People. Yeah, exactly. It's us people. It's not anybody else. So you may want to do a whole paragraph of that.
Okay.
Because then we know the war is not against the substances. The war is actually against the people to keep them in poverty. It's a system for that, right?
Yes.
So again, without saying, you can put all these stats, tell us which communities these are, what color people, what conviction, whatever, like tell us a little bit more about the people. So that would be your paragraph 4.
Okay.
So your 5th paragraph would be how these people are affected in real life. You've done an amazing job of mentioning, they can't get accepted into college, they can't get jobs. This is very true.
It is. I mean, I was just amazed when they listed the one where you can't get an apartment if you have a felony. Now they can't hold that against you. But Absolutely. Look how long it took them to do it. Absolutely. I have brothers who got a drug conviction that can't even be on anyone's lease. Where does he live? So yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's absolutely pretty crazy. So use that, that's a very good place you're coming from. So when you think of your paragraphs, Tanal, think of them as they can be used independently. So I can easily come to that paragraph and say, this is what she's talking about here. And that's exactly what you've done with your paragraphs. They're beautiful. You've structured them in that way. Like I can say, like this paragraph we're looking at that starts with when you're convicted of a drug offense, it's going to talk about the effects of being convicted of drug offenses. I'm going
Yes.
to read more about that in that paragraph. So what we say about this first sentence, it's a topic sentence. We call it a topic sentence.
Topic sentence.
Yeah. And your topic sentence are in place too. If you look at the paragraph prior to that, the method being used to fight this war is incarceration. That is your topic sentence. You're going to tell us about incarceration. And what you're doing is giving statistics about incarceration. And then the paragraph you're going to draft after that is which communities are affected by this war. So
and that's after the one after, so that'll be number 6.
So that's going to be, if you're numbering your introductory paragraph, then you have the history of war on drugs, right?
Yes.
That's paragraph 2. Paragraph 3 is the method being used is incarceration.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, 4 is going to be which communities are being
yes
affected. 5
and then 5 is how.
Yeah, 5 is going to be how they're affected. Absolutely.
Got it. See, okay.
So
I'm getting it.
No, you're doing a fantastic job. Again, intuitively, you've done all of this. We're just kind of making it into these nice presentable paragraphs with topic sentence, and then you're putting a bow at the end. You're using, punches, right? Like over 100 and some years. That's a punch in the face. Come on, who can justify this BS, right?
Exactly.
So then you have back to the original question, which tells me you're going to wrap it all up here. You're going to nicely tell me your thoughts, and you're going to give me more punches, to justify your position. And again, you've done all of this. What I strongly recommend is use more, like your statistics are really beautiful at the beginning. You're using a lot of numbers. So intersperse some more numbers to reflect, to back up your position in each of these paragraphs. For example, if you're writing about which communities, tell us what percentage of, for example, you have these stats actually in the course of
yes,
Latino
I wrote
males.
I wrote them down.
Yeah. Which percentage of Latino males are in jail for drug offenses? What percentage of African American?
Yeah, it says 65% are Black and Hispanics. And I looked at that too and was like, I want to use that, but I think I kind of just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much was too much. Is this supposed to be 1 page or 2 pages? Like, I would have threw in like,
Yeah, no, you're good.
Sure,
you can write as much as you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you've done very well. That's why we're having this conversation. So in order to populate it and make it much stronger, you want to use those numbers to kind of, verify what you're saying, justify your position. So that's what you need them for. So that's very good. Just add those little bits in, and that, to get like your perfect score here. And then, toward the end, you're just saying again, what you're wanting to do is conclusion is where you wrap it all together again. So you say things like, given the history, money's spent, which communities are getting affected, in which ways, it is brainless, it's mindless to think that the war on drugs is being won by anyone. Everybody's losing. So like that's like another very strong punch. Again, these are my words. I'm just coming up with them as we speak.
I got you.
Yeah, you just want to say, here's everything I told you about. Remember, you just read about this stuff. Are you really still thinking it's a good idea
to keep fighting something?
Yeah.
It was like I think in something, I think the one before this I had wrote in there like when you're in the community, you don't even know there's a war.
Exactly.
Like, there's a war because nothing changes.
Yeah.
So you're not aware. And I think I'm gonna add it to this.
Yep, that's a very good observation.
Okay.
Very good observation. So if it doesn't allow you to resubmit, which I think it does, I think you just can't redo quizzes, but you were able to.
I can, because it'll I could be able to yes, it is. I could do a new submission. And all I'm going to do is just go back to the original, tweak it, and then send it right back to you.
Yeah. And if you want us to go over it one more time, just so that you get the gist of it, like how.
Yes, because I kind of got my notes all over the place, but let me organize it so that when I go back to my notes, I know exactly where I'm gonna do
Yeah,
my edits. Okay,
yeah.
okay,
And
one
you
more
take
time.
yeah, and take your time with it, and then we'll go over it again when you have a minute. Come to either the morning sessions or to other sessions, and I'll do more workshops like this, and then we'll go over it again until it kind of works for you.
Okay,
I want it to work for you where you're like, I know, intro, give all the summary. This is why this reason, that reason, that reason, and use a punch. Okay, now the history, give the numbers and what happened, and then punch at the end. Topic
okay.
sentence, not for third paragraph. Yes, let's put, given all those stats, all the monies we're spending on, like it's going to become like very systematic for you the more you write. But let's just kind of bring it to a point where you're like, I know what to do next. I know what to put in the next paragraph.
Yeah, it's just being comfortable with knowing that you're gonna get the attention instead of like,
Yeah,
I don't know, you read stuff and you be like, okay, what the heck was I just reading?
right,
I want it to be like, oh, like she knows what she's talking about.
right. Exactly. Exactly. That's what those numbers do. Also, with your statistics and all your numbers, if they're coming out of certain studies, you want to definitely either list them at the end or you can mention them in the body of the paragraph. Now, what do I mean
Okay.
by that? For example, when you say state and local governments spend according to a study done by University of California
Got it.
in such and such year, the local and state governments spent over whatever number annually between these and those years in incarcerating, trying people, and other what have you. So what
Okay.
we want to do is we want to know where these numbers are coming from, which
Okay.
studies, what kind of surveys, if it's a survey. So you can embed it within the paragraph, or you can say there's a references part according to such and such study. You can leave it there and then
Okay.
put an asterisk or just leave it there. And then when you list it at the end, what you're able to do, we call it citations. I'm not really teaching you guys citations in this very moment. You can find out about them online, but you want to give us we want to be able to go back to that study and read it for ourselves if we choose to. Fair
Got it.
game, right? Fair
All
game.
right.
So I would incorporate it in your paragraph if it's not very long, if the names and all that are not very long. If they end
Okay.
up being long, just put a number 1, 2, 3, 4 for each study, survey, what have you. You can use those in-text citations. And
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 at the end, and there's a way to do that. I can show those to you. Formats are easy to deal with.
Okay.
But make sure you have what study and all that this has come from, and then we can reformat it accordingly. Again, it's good stuff to learn for future, especially colleges want it written like that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
we were just gonna go over it one more time to make sure. So the first one is my intro.
yep. It's called exactly that. It's called an introductory paragraph.
And then I break it off after, well, actually, I'm going to add more after alarming rate. And then paragraph number 2 is going to start with the history.
Yep, you got it.
And then number 3 is my numbers. But
Exactly.
we're just going to throw in some evidence.
Yes,
That's what it is.
absolutely.
Hold on, give evidence. Like who said it?
Yes, where are these statistics coming from, these numbers, according to whom?
Got it. And then number 4, hold on, I wrote it down. Where is it? Who gets affected by the word?
Fantastic. That's it. That's a brand new paragraph you're creating, and you're using again a few stats in there. And who said it? Where did those numbers come from? Always,
Got you.
right? Anytime you use statistics, you want to tell us where no numbers are coming from.
Okay, anytime we need to. Okay, got it. Number 5, is what you call the topic sentence. When you are convicted, what happens to the offenders?
Yeah,
How their life is.
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
How individuals are affected once they're incarcerated. What?
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
Yeah,
I quoted it as how are they now?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Good one.
that's and then I will put stats in there as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
I want to know when you say rehab is better than, drug treatment programs,
Yes.
a lot more help, they help people a lot more. I want to know statistically how you can say
Uh-huh.
that. You want to justify
Okay.
your position. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it. And then the last one is my ending.
Yep. It's called a conclusion or a conclusory paragraph.
And then so I went back to why I'm talking or writing all this stuff.
Yep.
Ooh, and then you said here is where I would take some of the numbers that was in 3 and figure out how we could be able to put it towards helping. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Absolutely. So also you can even call it, we can have a more constructive approach as opposed to spending all these monies, I previously mentioned. We can be spending it to better our communities, and you can just offer us a nice vision that you have using the same amount of money. All these things, again, like, this is destructive. Just justice system is not justice, it is a destructive system. If we wanted to build something different with it, what would that look like? Give us that vision.
Got it.
And your conclusion doesn't have to be just a paragraph. You can conclude it in 2 paragraphs. There's nothing that says in the book an essay should be this many paragraphs. The minimum, the standard is 5, 1 intro, 1 conclusion, and then 3 body paragraphs. But you can, have 3 introductory paragraphs, 5 conclusory paragraphs, and then 20 body paragraphs. I mean, there's really no mathematical reason why it should be the way we teach it. So you can get creative around that too.
Got it. And I think that's where I was at. Like, am I putting too much? Am I not putting
Yeah.
enough? So I kind of left out like some of the main stuff that I did want to put in there because I wasn't sure. You just answered that question.
Yeah. No, you're a good writer, Tanel.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you've done a very good job. I mean, again, given that you haven't done this in a while, this looks very good. Again, it's all about practicing. So we'll go over it again. You have your notes. If it gets confusing, let me know. If you want to shoot me an email with 1 paragraph and going, hey, BG, I'm getting confused here. Where was I supposed to use this? That's perfectly fine. Copy and paste that paragraph in an email and I can just shoot you an answer.
Okay, okay.
That's perfectly fine. Or you can even call me and say, can we read this together? Or can
Right.
yeah, you get in the Zoom room and get this together like we did last time.
Now that I know you're here, I am so using you.
Oh yes, please do. That's why I'm here. That's the purpose, to support your learning process. So yeah, I have the Monday through Thursday 11 to 12. I'm in the Zoom room, just the same place. And then I will have, I think next week, a Tuesday night just like this.
Ooh, that'll be perfect.
Yeah, around the same
That'll
time,
be
I will
perfect.
follow the same structure. Okay.
Okay.
So
okay, and then I think that another thing I can do, I hope I can do it, is that when I edit it over in my Google Docs, I could be able to share it with you.
absolutely.
And then you could be able to tweak it or blah blah blah, and then
Absolutely, I can give you
and then that'll be my final point of shooting it in there.
Yep, you know what? You got it. It's amazing. Also, if you want to just leave it there, if it's easier for you in Google Docs, what you're able to do is I can put a note saying you revised it in Google Docs and it's in my account. We shared it, so that's another way to go about it. Somehow, if you
Okay.
can't upload it for whatever reason, you should be able to, right? But
Right.
if that happens ever, keep that in mind. That's another way
Okay.
to go about it, okay?
Okay. Okay.
So, any last questions?
No, I actually got like, I'm excited to start, fixing it.
Okay, fantastic.
I took
So,
a lot of notes. I got sticky notes like all over the place.
fantastic. So
Yes.
fantastic. Like I said, anytime reach out. I have one more question to now for you.
Okay.
I was going to share this with the rest of the people who couldn't make it to the session,
Uh-huh.
but because you shared your work, I have to ask you if that's okay to use your work as an example. If you don't feel comfortable with that, because you
No, do it because I
okay,
didn't know what I was gonna go on. So I was like, okay, essay, and then I guess that first paragraph came out of me, the first wording, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I got this. So it helps to at least have someone to give you a start because I didn't know. I was just like, sometimes it takes me a minute, but when I get it, I'm like, whoa, I might have been sitting at this computer for like 3 hours, but I got a good essay.
fantastically done.
Yeah,
Thank you so
please
much. So
share
I'm
it.
going
It's
to
good.
share it. Thank you so much. I think it's really helpful to have a good example to look at, and then
Oh, thank you.
yeah, thank you,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you. So I'm going to send this out, and at the beginning, before you came in, there was a portion where I did a little bit of introductory, kind of an explaining a few things. So you may want
Yes.
to rewatch just that portion of the video because you're live here with me. You don't need this portion. But again, if you need to review, you're going to have the whole video. I'm going to share it with everyone, thanks
Okay.
to you, with your permission.
Okay, yes, yes.
And yeah, and we can do this anytime. Like I said, just let me know.
Okay, well, other than that, I'm gonna fix it, and then, if anything, I will see you on Tuesday. If I need to see you a little bit sooner, I will be in your class, for your Zoom Monday at 10 o'clock.
Perfect.
Okay, you have a great
Great
rest of your
having you.
evening. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Okay.
Take care.
You too.
Bye,
Bye.
Sanel.
Bye.